10 years ago, Kaikoura was a very small country town, typical of other country towns, really struggling to survive.
Well, the ecotourism has had a terrific impact on the development of Kaikoura and the employment in the town itself.
We knew those whales were there all our lives. We still wondered why people want to pay to go out and have a look at them.
The Whale Watch company in Kaikoura, on the east coast of the South Island of New Zealand, provides a fascinating example of how a disadvantaged group, in this case the local Māori community, managed to turn a situation of very high unemployment into a successful business based on ecotourism. A business which has also had a beneficial effect on the whole town.
It was a very quiet place, typical rural New Zealand. It had a population of about 3,000, just over 3,000 people. The main industries were fishing, farming. It was a quiet town. It wasn't known as a tourist attraction. The most famous thing it was known for was crayfish. And the actual Māori name, Kaikoura, means food of crayfish.
The economic downturn of the late 80s, and in particular the closing of the local railway depot, resulted in high unemployment in Kaikoura, especially for the Māori population.
The unemployment rate for those that were available to work was over 90%.
So we had lots and lots of talks about this. We sat and we had people that came in and we all talked about employment initiatives and what we were going to do. And Whale Watch came. And I suppose for us it was difficult to sort of see in the beginning because we knew those whales were there all our lives. Our father was a fisherman, and so we were going to know about the waters, where the whales go, is where we lived. And so, I mean, but we still wondered why people want to pay to go out and have a look at them.
People who had no assets, so we had to find assets. We mortgaged our homes and that type of thing.
It was absolutely terrifying to even contemplate going into that sort of debt. It was the debt because we were just people that didn't have debt, and mainly because we were so afraid of it.
Our people had lived on the great tit of the social welfare for the last 10 years, and they were ready to gamble too. They were ready to gamble.
The people here weren't, in the traditional sense, entrepreneurs. They weren't the Kerry Packers or the Alan Bonds of the world. They were humble people that lived a humble lifestyle in rural New Zealand, and they were happy to do that. Along the way, they had to create their own rules. They had to plead ignorant in terms of breaking rules, and thirdly, they had to work and seek support from whatever agency, program, individual that they could to make the whole thing happen.
The first year we worked so hard for nothing. We all worked for nothing because we were terrified we'd leave our houses and we'd end up living in somebody's garage. But it worked. The thing is that it worked, and people were interested in going out and seeing these whales.
There was a core group that was committed, and they were adamant that it was going to happen and that something had to be done. Their enthusiasm, their commitment, and the early successes began a snowballing effect, and nothing creates success like success.
The payoff is jobs. It's work. That's what it's all about, really. It is putting together an enterprise that employs.
This town has become a major hub for ecotourism and wilderness experience, and it has also gained international recognition overseas. Tourism is fast becoming one of the biggest employers in the town. Whale Watch as a company in the middle of the summer season employs up to 40 people. There's been a dramatic improvement in the infrastructure in terms of beautification, central government money being spent on roads and infrastructure, the number of transportation firms servicing the area, and the economic benefits have just been dramatic.
So all the other businesses are getting spin-offs from tourism, a lot of tradespeople who we don't normally associate with the tourism industry, everything from electricians to panel beaters and that type of trade, they're all getting the indirect business of the people coming here.
5 years ago the local post office was talking about closing down, but now it's flat out handling mail from tourists. We have actually got 4 practicing doctors in Kaikoura, and our hospital was probably under threat a few years ago of disappearing. Now it's pretty steady. So it's bringing a lot of good things to the town, yeah.
Over a 2-year period there was something like 40 new accommodation facilities set up.
We have over 1,000 beds for visitors here now, and we've only got a population of 2,500 people.
In 1986-87, the total number of visitors to this region was 3,400. Today it would be in excess of 150,000. I think what is exciting from our perspective is that by far 80%, 85% of all the development in this town has been done locally. It is local people that had been affected by the dramatic restructuring are the ones that are controlling the economic growth. That is exciting. The local community, and especially the marae, came to the conclusion at the end of the day it was their problem, that the private sector was more worried about itself, therefore they weren't going to come and solve the problem. Central government wasn't going to solve the problem. At the end of the day it was up to them. So they took on the attitude that they were the architects of their own destiny.
Unemployment is a degrading way to live. Employment gives you pride, and if it's an initiative that's your own, much more pride.
We wanted to build up not only build up people's confidence, but we wanted to build up their work-based skills and that type of thing. And that's what we really set out to do. Whale Watch gave us the finance to be able to do that.
For those of us that in fact were quite young when we joined Whale Watch, a lot of us were unemployed. We really had no future in the town. Many of us actually had to travel out of town to find work. I myself lived in Auckland for quite a long time doing various jobs until I'd been told that the initiative was, about to start, and so I moved back home. So it's really done a lot for the young people. It's actually brought them back into the town.
There's a lot more pride in the children. I'd say particularly at the primary school level. They work harder at school. That at least there's something at the end of the day. They can work. They maybe could get a job in Whale Watch. A lot of the children say they're going to be captains on the Whale Watch boats when they leave school, and that's good.
There's less anger. There's less crime. There's less, all those things that are negative, there's a lot less of it. And it has to be good for the community.
The whales have been here for over 1,000 years, and the local Māori community have lived with them for over 1,000 years. And people had taken them for granted, as we take for granted our clean oceans, our beautiful unpolluted skies and our mountains. We looked through Kiwi eyes and took for granted what we had here. When we took a step back and put on glasses from a wider perspective, we've seen the true potential.
Yes, and I think that's really important when people are looking at new business ventures. It's much easier if this thing that they're going to is available in that place that they live. I suppose it would be like whale watching for us. It would be something that is just so commonplace to them that isn't to other people. And so it's hard for them to pick it up. But they should look. They should look at their own environment, and they should take the risk. It could pay off, and it could could pay off really good dividends.